Good morning everyone. My name's Debbie and I'm going to be taking you through this workout practice today. And the practice is Pilates with Debbie. I'm working from or doing my practice today from my hotel room. It's quite a small space, so we are limited with what I can actually do here, but I'm going to crack on because I need to do my Pilates each day. I don't need to tell you about myself, I've done it many a times, but if you are new to my practice and you want to know a little bit about my background, if you go to the start and the profile on my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see about me. So we're going to start by laying down, guys, as I always do. We're going to just get ourselves ready, we're going to chill and get our bodies relaxed, ready for the practice ahead of us. So fabulous, let's lay down, guys. I'm going to start lengthways. I know normally I'm sideways. Some of the moves I might move sideways for you, depends, but as I say, I am very limited here with what I can do. So let's take ourselves to laying. We're going to take our feet long. If you have lower spine issues, then take your feet mat width apart and lock your knees in together. We're going to do a full body stretch. So for those that have got their knees locked in, I'll show you how we do it from here. So you pull in, we breathe in with Pilates, we breathe in through our nose, we breathe out through our mouth. So take a big breath in through the nose, and as you do so, pull in your core. And as you breathe out through the mouth, you pull the core in more, and you push your spine down into the mat beneath you as best you can. Some people do have a natural curve to their spine, so it might not go completely flat. Raise your hands overhead and stretch your hands away. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your legs together, and squeeze. Squeeze everything tight, keeping the core pulled in, but keep breathing and keep pushing the spine downwards into the mat so that you don't get any further issues with your back. And then release. Okay, do that again, guys. For those that are with me and you've got your legs long, let's take our full body stretch from here. So point your toes away, taking your arms overhead, point your fingers away, your legs should be about hip width apart, no wider, and stretch away. We're not like lifting upwards, we're stretching away. So don't forget again the breath, you're pulling in your core. So you're breathing in, pulling in the core. You're breathing out with mouth, pulling in the core more, pushing out back down into the mat beneath, and pushing away with our arms and our legs. Keep pushing, but keep breathing, keep pulling the core tight, and then release down. Okay, do that one more time, breathing in through the nose, pulling in the core. Breathing out through the mouth, pull the core in more. Push the back down into the mat, squeeze the toes away, squeeze the legs and the arms, push the arms away, really push away, and then release down. Lovely. Okay, bringing your arms down to your side, taking the feet now, or the legs sort of wider than they were, wider than hip width. Taking your palms facing upwards. Let's release out our neck. So let's start to move our head from side to side, releasing out our neck. Actually for this bit, I think I'm gonna go sideways, otherwise all you're gonna be seeing are my legs. So while we're here, I'll do it this way so that you can see. I think this is probably a nice sort of position for you guys. So closing down the eyes now, if you can. Dropping the legs, the feet outwards, taking the palms facing up. And as I say, let's start to move our neck. If you continue to do that, if you were, just keep moving it. It's really nice because we do hold a lot of tension in our neck and around our shoulders. So doing this is actually really nice. Then coming back to center, breathing in through the nose. And as we breathe out through the mouth, again, we're pulling in our core. We lift our chin to our chest, just the chin, nothing else, lifting up. Keeping the shoulders down onto the mat beneath. Taking a breath here, pulling in the core. And as we breathe out, we allow the head to come back down to the floor. Amazing. Okay, right, so we're going to start to relax down now. So let the feet drop outwards, the lower legs and the upper legs. Let both legs start to relax down Notice any points of tension that you may have this morning in those legs. Or it could be the afternoon if you're doing it in the afternoon. Notice any tension you might have there. Then focus around your lower spine, your pelvis and the lower stomach. Letting everything relax there. You might have tension there, breathe into it. Ask it to soften down. And then your mid-spine, your tummy, your upper spine and your chest. So your torso becoming relaxed. And your hands, the fingers, lower arms and upper arms. Both arms soft. And then relax those shoulders. You might want to lift the shoulders up and roll them down your back. Drop the hands and the arms back down and the shoulders, let everything relax there. That's where we hold lots of tension, as I said. Be aware of any issues you might have and focus on those throughout the practice. And then your neck and your head. Relax all those facial muscles. If you've got your eyes closed down, keep them closed. We're looking internally what's going on with our bodies at this moment, preparing it for the practice that we have ahead. And then take a scan from the tips of the toes, all the way over the legs, your torso, over your arms, check your head, your neck, your shoulders. Scanning it again yourself slowly, asking everything to be soft, breathing into areas that are tense. Amazing, guys. Okay, next thing, start to wake yourself up, keeping the eyes closed down if you wish, wriggling your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, everybody's going to meet with their feet mat width apart. Okay, I'm now sideways, so I've got my mat lengthways. Actually, let me try and change it at the moment. Stay where you are, guys. I'm just going to move my mat around so that I'm going to be this way for the moment. A little bit squidgy. I can move it back if necessary. It's what happens when you're working from spaces you're not used to being in. So we've got our feet mat width apart, we've got our knees locked in together. Taking our arms out into a T shape. Or if you're feeling that you want to open your chest more, you can take your arms into cactus arms and you'll feel the opening more around the chest. And breathing in, putting in that core. Breathing out, pull the core in more. Push the spine down into the mat beneath. Breathing in, putting in the core. Breathing out, pull the core in more. Got a nice tight core. Heart in the knees, keeping the core held. Breathing in, pull the core tighter. And as you breathe out through the mouth, allow the legs to drop over to the left-hand side. Try to hold the core if you can while you're doing it. And then when you get to your point of tension and comfort, release the core and relax into this gentle spinal twist. Breathe into tense areas. Ask it to soften down. Be aware of any of these issues that you might have throughout your practice. Be mindful of them. Breathing in, put in your core again. And as you breathe out, hold the core tight, bring the legs to center. Keep holding on to that core. Breathing in, pulling in the core. Breathing out, pull the core in more. Feel those lower muscles start to click in. Breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out through the mouth, Let those legs drop over to the right hand side. Get to your point of comfort and then let everything go. Relax into this gentle spinal twist. Still breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, and as you breathe out through the mouth, pulling that core tight. Bring the legs to center, holding it there. Breathing in through the nose, pulling in the core. Breathing out through the mouth, pull the core in more. Can you feel that really pulling now? The more you do the breathing, the more you're going to find that strength around your lower core areas. Bringing the feet back to center. We're going to do that a little bit more. We're going to find our neutral spine. So you're going to breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you do so, you're going to slightly tilt your pelvis up. Breathing out through the mouth. Pull the core tighter. And then release the spine back down, release the pelvis, but keep the core tight. Breathing in through the nose, pull that core tight. And as we breathe out through the mouth, tilt the pelvis upwards. And squeeze the core. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Releasing down, keeping the core held. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, tilt the pelvis upwards, keep the core held. And then as you release back down, holding the core, that is your neutral spine. So your spine should be nice and long and elongated along the mat, nice and flat. You might have little arches, as I said earlier, some people have a natural curve to their spine, so don't worry if you've got that, but we don't want this sort of look, okay? We don't want that. That's not what we want. We want our spine in its natural neutral spine. So lifting and tilting that pelvis where you are. Amazing. Okay, so we're going to start to do some little sit-ups. Okay, so we're going to do gentle sit-ups here. I would normally be using weights, but obviously as I'm on holiday, I couldn't put weights in my suitcase. That wouldn't be working. I might have a look at their gym actually. They might have some weights down there. I could do a practice down there. Okay, so we're just going to start with gentle sit-ups. So we're going to keep in our neutral spine, so don't forget, still holding it hopefully. If not, just do your little tilts again and get your spine nicely, pulling in the core. Okay, taking our hands behind our head. We're going to breathe in, pulling in that core. And as we breathe out, just going to lift ourselves just up a little bit, just lifting the shoulders up and then coming back down. Keeping the core tight, breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth, core tight, sitting up. Releasing down, holding the core, breathing in, pulling in the core more. Breathing out, squeezing the core. Gently, gently, breathing in, breathing out. Coming back down, breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth as you lift, squeezing the core. And then gently coming down, let's do a few obliques. So a few little turns here. And just be lifting ourselves up, taking our elbow across to our knee, lifting the shoulder off of the mat as we do so. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth as you lift. Two more. Then coming back down to the mat. Okay, keeping that core tight, don't let it go. Before we go into full sit-ups, we're going to do some bridge moves. So we're going to do a gentle lifting. So bring the feet in closer. Get yourself comfortable. Again, do your pelvic move. Tilting upwards, holding the core as you do so. Okay, now everybody is going to do the pelvic tilt with me if they weren't before, if they were already in a nice neutral spine. So we're going to breathe in, we're going to pull in our core. Back goes down and pushes into the mat, and as you breathe out, You tilt the pelvis upwards, and then you continue to move upwards into your bridge pose. Coming up, actually you should have your hands, guys, down by the sides for support. I often take mine away. If you've got good control when you're coming up, then you can certainly take your arms away, but it's your choice, it's your practice. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, you slowly roll down, one vertebrae at a time, all the way back down to the mat, to the floor. Amazing, well done, guys. Breathing in, pulling in the core, breathing out, tilt the pelvis upwards, squeeze everything, squeeze your glutes, start squeezing, hands down by the sides if you need support, coming all the way up to where you can, holding it there, holding it nice and tight, keeping the core pulled in, squeezing those glutes, squeeze the thighs, breathing in through the nose, and let's start to roll down, the upper spine coming down, slowly, slowly, core tight, the mid spine comes down, gently, gently, all the way down, the lower spine, and finally your tailbone. Okay, we're going to do that again. Breathing in, pulling in your core, and as you breathe out, hold the core tight, start to tilt that pelvis, start to move up. If you're happy to take your hands away, do so, or keep them down by your sides. Those that have got your hands away, even if you've got your hands down here for support, let's see if you can take your arms overhead. Taking the arms overhead, taking a deeper, deeper stretch here. Keep squeezing the glutes, squeeze everything tight. Breathing in through the nose, and as you breathe out, you lift your arms back up, and you start to roll down, as I said, one vertebrae, very slowly, down to the floor, bringing the hands all the way down to the mat. Let's take that again. This time we're going to take our hands underneath for a deeper stretch. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, tilt the pelvis upwards. Start to come up, all the way up to the top here, taking your hands in a grip, in a clasp, and then roll your shoulders under and push yourself up even deeper into that nice stretch. Wonderful, gentle back bend here. Again, you don't have to take your hands under if that's too much for you. Taking the hands away, either down for support or on your core, breathing in, pulling in that core, and as you breathe out, we roll down one vertebrae gently, all the way to the floor. Amazing. Right, let's take a little hug here. So we're bringing in our right leg, we're bringing in our left leg, breathing in, pulling in that core, and as we breathe out, we squeeze the legs to us, keeping the head down, we're not lifting the head, we're rolling the mid and the lower spine, just opening it, doing a counter pose from what we've just done. And then just gently release, holding the knees, don't put the feet down just yet. Bring the right leg towards you, bring the left leg towards you. Hold it around the front of the calves, breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out, through the mouth, you squeeze those legs tighter, feeling the rounding again in the mid and the lower spine. And then gently release it off, but don't let go of the legs. Holding on to the calves, just start to circle, just gently circling your legs. Just little hip work, little lower spine work. Just gently circling your legs. Opening out, holding the core tight. Don't forget breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Holding it there. Let's reverse that circle, so pushing the legs away, circling out and coming in. Breathing in through the nose as you push out, breathing out through the mouth as they squeeze in. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. And then holding it there. Amazing. Right, Taking the feet back down to the floor, release your spine, get your spine comfortable, do your pelvic tilts if you need to, and then taking your legs long, or you can keep them in the feet flat on the floor, whatever is good for you. And here we're going to start to take some sit-ups. So I'm struggling with space here, so I'm going to have my legs slightly bent, I think. So taking your hands behind your head, breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, you start to lift yourself up. Slowly, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, all the way to the top. Bringing yourself back down, hands overhead, breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, we take our arms overhead and we lift ourselves up. Trying to keep our feet flat on the floor, guys. If you can, if you find that your feet are lifting, you're probably coming up too high, so stay a little bit lower. That's 5. I'm actually not going to put my hands overhead because they're whacking the curtains. That's 4. Three. Just 2 more. That's 2. And this is our last one. Coming up, bring yourself all the way back down to the mat. Bringing your feet towards you again. And this time, if you can take it again, lifting one leg and then lifting the other, or you can come with me. You're breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, using that core to bring both legs up towards you, squeezing them towards you, breathing out. Hold the core, hold the legs. Excellent. Okay, we're going to go for a little, I was going to do leg stretch, but I don't think I've got the space to do it here. Okay, what we'll do. Okay, so breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, circle the leg upwards and round. Circling the leg upwards and round. So we're on our right leg, we're circling it, we're keeping our core pulled in, and we're circling. Now for you, you might be able to push your leg right away and bring it in. Do that if you can. I'm struggling because, as I said, space is not great for me and I'm hitting the bed. Keep circling. We've got 3, 2. Lower you go with the leg, the better. Holding the last one up into the air, and then take the leg out to the side and bringing it back up. If you've got a strap or a band here, you could put that around the foot and you could hold that. I'm just doing this for 8 moves. Trying to keep the spine on the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one, taking the leg out, bringing it up and bringing it back down to the floor. Okay, again, we're going to take this now with our left leg, so we're going to push it away. So if you can, push your leg nice and straight like that. I can't obviously because I've got the bed there, so pushing it straight and then bringing it up and bringing it round for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one, holding it up here. We're going to now drop it out to the side for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 1. Bringing that leg back to center, bringing that back down. Amazing. Right, we're going to be coming up to standing. I don't think I've got room to roll. So you can, as we've done before, we can do our roll. If you're new to this practice, so and you want to try the rolling like a ball, you take your hands behind the backs of your thighs and you start to roll yourself from here. Okay, I've not got an awful lot of space here, but keep going, guys. Or if that's too much for you, you can take yourself to your side and you can push yourself up from your side and bring yourself up to standing from there. If you have low blood pressure, it's wise to come up from your left. And then you bring yourself up. I'm going to have to move this back around now, I think, for our roll up, roll down. So when you're up, take yourself to the backs of your mat, rolling your shoulders back and down. We're going to do the Pilates classic roll up, roll down. So I'm going to come sideways so you can see. So we're standing nice and tall. Right, got a nice straight spine. Breathing in, pulling in your core. And as you breathe out, you take your chin to your chest. You start to roll down. The neck comes down and the shoulders will come forward. Take your hands to the front of your legs and roll yourself down. Gently to the floor. If you can only get to here, wherever you go, you get comfortable, get to your point of tension and you hold it there. And you breathe and you feel the stretch along the backs of the legs, which I'm feeling today because I've done a huge walk yesterday. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, roll yourself up gently, one vertebrae at a time, squeezing, pulling in the core. Shoulders go back and down, the neck, and then finally the head. So we do that again and I'll talk you through it. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and as we breathe out, we hold the core tight. We drop our chin to our chest. We start to roll the neck down. The shoulders will come forward and the hands go to the front of the legs. Don't forget to keep breathing, keep pulling in the core. So the upper back comes down. The mid back comes down. And then finally, the lower spine will come down. Go to your point of comfort and you hang. You might want to take hold of opposite elbows here, and you might want to give yourselves a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a turn, whatever's good for you. Coming back to center, nod the head yes, shake the head no, release that out, we don't want tension there. Release the hands down, breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out through the mouth, you start to roll up, hands to the front of your legs. Squeeze the glutes, keep pulling in the core, so the lower back lifts, the mid back lifts, the upper back lifts, the shoulders go back and down, the neck, and finally the head. Okay, right, I'm going to try and take a little bit of balance here. So just getting yourself comfortable, maybe just twisting your hips around one way, twisting them back the other way, getting yourself nice and released out so that you've not got too much tension. And then let's start to take our weight into our right leg. Just feeling the weight there. You've got your toe still on the floor at the moment, the left toe. Just holding it there. Okay, hands on the hips, core pulled in tight for every breath that you take. And you're going to start to lift that right leg up. You're going to hold on to the right leg, and you're going to, the left leg. Guys, I'm so sorry. So the right leg's nice and firm on the mat. We're lifting our left leg up. We're squeezing it in tight. Squeezing it in and release it down. Okay, let's take that on the other side. So let's get our left leg nice and firm into the mat. Getting it where you are, where you're comfortable, on the tippy toe of your right leg. And then we start to lift up that right leg, so it is the right leg we're lifting this time. Bringing it up, squeezing your core, squeeze it tight, holding that leg, squeezing it in, And if it's too much for you, you might just want to just keep the toe on the floor. You might want to just lift it just gently off the floor and then going back. Okay, this time we're going to get our foot and our right foot again nicely firmly in the mat, lifting our left leg, keeping it on the toe for the moment, taking our left leg out and bringing it up, taking it out and bringing it up. Oops. Don't worry if you have to put your toe down. 4, 3, 2, and last one, holding it up there. Sorry, I lost my balance a bit. And see if you can now open the leg out. Holding it out there. You might even want to take your arms out to the side, bringing it back to center and bringing it back down to the ground. Okay, let's take that on our left leg. So left leg nice and firmly on the floor, get your balance. Okay, bringing up the right leg, bring it out and in. 7, keeping the core pulled in tight. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, oopsie, and the last one, and then taking it out to the side if you can. You might want to hold on to the knee, you might want to keep your hands on your hips. Oopsie, here we go again. You can tell it's morning, can't you? My balance is naff. And then take your arms out if you wish, to the side. Bring it back to centre and bring it down. It's always good to test your balance, you know, first thing in the morning I'm really like all over the place. So again, this might be your afternoon, but for me it's morning, just woken up. And again, any of those moves that we do, you can always hold on to a wall, you know, if you need support for the wall. So our final move, we're going to try and take a tree pose. Now, I know this is a yoga move, but I actually quite like it, and as we are doing balance, we're going to have a go. So, we've got our hands on our hips, we've got our left leg firmly on the mat. We're going to take our right toes to the outside, and that's the first part of a tree pose. Okay, if you want to lift it up so that it's onto the calf, you can. Some people can take it right up. I'm not very good with this one because my foot slips away, but you can take it and push it into your upper thigh, and taking your hands up so that their hands are together at the top. You can take it so you've got a full tree. I'm just going to hold it there for 8, 7, 6, 5, keep the core pulled in tight, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands together back into the palms, bring your palms down to your chest, and then taking your leg down. Okay, fabulous guys, let's take that onto the other side. Just getting our leg firmly on the mat, either lower tree pose, take it onto the calf, never push onto your knee, and then the final one is up here, pushing it in to your thigh. Push the thigh inwards, really in, taking the arms out, taking the arms up with the palms together, or you can go out into a full tree, holding it there for 8, 7, pulling the core in, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking the palms back together over, bringing them down to your heart center, and taking the leg back down. Fabulous. Don't you think that's great? Testing our balance. Me, I'm all over the place with balance. So some days I'm really good, other days I'm lousy. Didn't feel too bad today. Okay, so we're going to I'm going to move my mat around again now because we're going to do some stretching to our sides. We're taking our feet now a lot wider. Actually, you can't see me there. Let's come back a bit more. Taking our legs nice and wide. Can you all see that? Good, I hope so. So we're standing nice and tall. Put our hands onto our hips. We're going to come down with a flat back, just a flat back, and we're holding it there. So I'll go sideways so you can see this. So just a flat back. We're not coming right down yet, but just a nice flat back here. So you see I've got a flat back, hands onto our hips, holding it there. Breathing in, pull that core tight. And as you breathe out, you can now start to lower yourself down, bringing yourself forward wherever you can. You might be able to get your hands onto the floor. You might want to take the feet slightly wider, and you're bringing yourself down to your point of comfort, stretching out the back of the legs here. The hips are also be working at this point. You might want to take your hands onto your opposite ankles and pull yourself down. I'm not a big fan of that one. I like to take my hands so they're facing away from me, so my fingertips are facing the opposite way rather than forward, and then using those to bring myself down. And taking your hands back, let's come up to our flat back again. So we've got a nice flat back. And then turning out your right foot. Back this way so you can see what I'm doing. So we're turning out our right foot. We've got our flat back. Turning out our right foot. Taking our body over to our right foot. Taking ourselves over there and dropping ourselves down over our right leg. Gently does it. You might want to take both hands onto the leg, wherever you feel comfortable to be. You might even want a slight bend, not too much, but just a tiny little bend. I mean, we don't want to be doing this because that's another move altogether, but you might find that the knee would slightly bend. That's fine. Bringing yourself back up, take yourself back to center, nice flat back again. Turning out our left foot and walking over towards the left. Breathing in here, and as you breathe out, you lower yourself down over your left leg. And again, you might want a little bend in the leg. Obviously not a great big bend, but just a tiny gentle bend. I always find, because I don't like to lock out my knee. I do have knee issues. And then again, you might want to take your hands away, wherever's good for you, and feel the stretch all the way down the back of your leg. Bringing yourselves back to center, feet facing forward, one more drop down. Taking the hands and pulling yourself down, then bending your knees, big bend in the knees, taking your hands onto your hips and gently rolling yourself up all the way to the top. Bringing the feet not quite hip width, so slightly wider than hip width, and we're just going to take some side movement here. You can see me again. So, right, breathing in. So we're taking our right hand out. I'm just going to take the right hand down, keeping our left hand on our hip, not bending forward. This is a side bend. Coming back up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Holding the core. 2 and 1. Holding it down here now, taking the left arm over, bringing it overhead for a nice stretch. You should be able to look up and see the ceiling underneath. If you've got your arm forward, bring it back where it's opening here. Taking the left arm back and gently bringing yourself over. Let's take that on the left. So we're going down. 8, 7, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way down, taking the right arm and bringing the right arm over. As I say, you should be able to look underneath and see the ceiling. This is an opening. And then bringing yourself back to center. Amazing, roll those shoulders. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of arm work. So take a slight bend in your knees here, taking your arms out.
clench your fists. Again, normally I would have weights here, but I haven't. You can feel free if you've got weights, you're at home or wherever, holding them out. Let's start to bring our arms up and down for 8. Squeeze those fists. 7. Keeping the core pulled in. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Holding the arms up here. Let's circle the arms for 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Reverse the circle. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Holding the hands there. Really squeeze those fists. Really keep core pulled in tight. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do our scissors with our arms. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding the arms up there, squeezing those fists, squeeze those arms, make them work, bringing them out to the side. I'm going to have to move a little bit, sorry guys. So here, sorry, I know I probably look a bit weird. Don't forget a little bend in your knees if you need it. Start to circle the arms forward here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to here again. Oh, I could have stood there, it wasn't too bad. We're going to do our macro arms, so bringing the arms up so that they're in a cactus shape. Okay? Going for 8, 7. Squeeze those fists, pull in that core. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding it out there, squeeze the arms in for 8, 7, squeeze those fists. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Taking the arms up, so get your fingertips, clasp your fingertips together, turn the palms away, pushing the arms up, breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out, squeeze everything, squeeze your glutes, push the arms away, push, 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 and then release them back down, taking the arms back around behind you, clasping the fingers again behind your back, squeezing the arms, and lift. You see that, lifting the arms, standing tall, we're squeezing our glutes, we're squeezing our core. Squeeze the arms, and then release. Amazing. Okay, let's take our right arm across, holding underneath and squeezing it. A little bit of a stretch. Release that down. Let's take the left arm across, holding it, squeezing it down. Fabulous, guys. Okay, we're going to come back down to the mat now. We'll do a couple of little stretches, and then we're going to go into relaxation. Standing at the top of your mat, shoulders back and down, standing nice and tall, breathing in, pulling in that core. And as we breathe out, we drop our chin to our chest. The neck starts to come down. Pull the core tight, shoulders put forward, hands down the front of your legs as you roll yourself down, all the way to the mat, very slowly. And when you get there, you might need to bend your knees. Walk your hands out, bringing your knees down, and taking yourselves around. Now you can come down from your side and come onto your back from there, or you can come down with me from a seated position, and we're going to C-curve down. So we don't just drop back, we C-curve our spine. Can you see that I'm C-curving down here? Taking our hands out in front, breathing in, pulling in our core, And as we breathe out, we C-curve ourselves down all the way. Feet flat on the mat. If you get to a point you can't hold yourself, take behind your thighs. Bring yourself down to the mat, ready for final relaxation. So taking your legs long, or taking your feet mat width apart. Actually, we just do a couple of stretches first, sorry. So, sorry, everybody, feet flat on the mat, bringing our right leg in, squeezing our right leg towards us, taking the leg up long, and bring that leg towards you for a little stretch there, keeping the shoulders on the floor. Taking that leg down, bringing in the left leg, squeezing that in. Taking the left leg up, squeezing that left leg towards you. Releasing that down. And now you can either have feet mat width apart, as we did earlier in the practice. You can have them hip width apart, or you can take your right leg over your left, breathing in, pulling in that core. And as you breathe out, you allow the legs to drop down to the left-hand side. Shoulders stand firmly on the mat, get to your point of comfort, and then release. Enjoy that little spinal twist there. Relax into it. Let's start slowing the heart down. Take it out, breathing back to normal. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and at the same time, bring your legs to center using your core. If you've got your legs crossed, undo them. Keeping the core tight, don't let it go yet. Taking the left leg over the right. Breathing in, pull the core tighter. And as we breathe out, holding that core tight, let's drop our legs over to the right hand side. Keeping our shoulders on the mat. You can look over to your opposite hand if you wish. You can have your hands in cactus arms. You can have them out in T-shape. Whatever is good for you. Holding it there. Relax into it. Enjoy that twist. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and at the same time using that core to bring your legs back to center. If you've got them crossed, uncross them. Excellent. Okay, so done a nice little bit of stretching there. Taking our arms up, give our arms and our wrists a nice circle. Let's release those arms. Release those wrists, give them a shake out. Excellent. Taking your shoulders back and down, dropping them behind you. That's really nice. And then taking your legs long or mat width apart. If you still have lower issues, knocking your knees in, whatever's good for you. Taking the feet wider than hip width. Taking the arms out to the side with the palms facing upwards. Breathing in through the nose, release it through the mouth. Closing your eyes down if you can. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. Excellent, get your head comfortable. And now let everything start to relax into our final relaxation. Thanking our body, appreciating it. The practice that it's just done. For me, it's preparing me for my day ahead. For you, it might be evening and it's preparing you for a relaxed evening. So let all 10 toes relax. Tingling in the soles of your feet, let it go. The tops of your feet and your ankles. Releasing your calves, your knees, and your thighs. Both legs fully relaxed on the mat beneath you. Releasing your lower spine, your pelvis, and your lower core.
your mid-spine and your tummy, your upper spine and your chest, your torso heavy and the mat beneath. Releasing all 10 fingers, the backs of your hands, the palms of your hands, the wrists, the lower arms, the elbows and the upper arms. Let the shoulders be heavy. Let your neck release and your head. Let all your facial muscles just be soft. So maybe parting your lips a little bit, releasing the jaw, releasing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Releasing your cheeks, your eyes, your eyelids, your eyebrows, your forehead and the top of your head. Everything released. We're going to realign our chakras today. So we're going to take a clockwise movement without visual. So visualize the center of your tummy and your navel area, and in a clockwise motion start to circle around your navel. Let that circle increase so you've got your tummy. That circle gets bigger, it brings in your chest and your pelvis. The circle gets bigger so it goes over your arms. Your arms are circling with the core. The circle gets bigger, it brings in your neck and the top of your legs. And then your lower legs. And then the whole circle goes below your feet and over the top of your head. Your whole body working in a clockwise motion. And then slow that circle till it stops. Take your focus to your third eye and really focus in on that third eye, asking it to relax and release. Release everything now. Gentle rise and fall of your belly. Start to visualize the room that you're in. We're going to start to bring ourselves back to the here and now. Start to listen to any sounds that you can hear close by or further away. And start to wriggle your fingers and your toes, waking yourself up. And when you are ready, bringing your feet, they're flat on the mat beneath. Get yourself comfortable. going to take ourselves onto our favourite side. So for me, I'm going to push into my heels and I'm going to shift my hips over to the right, and I'm going to roll my legs down to the left. If you prefer to come from the other side, shift your feet into your weight into your feet and shift those hips over to the left and then roll onto your right. It's much nicer for your spine to do it that way. Bringing yourself over onto your favourite side. Taking your arm as a pillow, resting there. Keeping the eyes cast down if you can. Got our lungs open in our back, so let's breathe into those lungs. Big breath in through the nose. Feel those lungs out and then breathe out through the mouth. Let's do that again. Feel those lungs, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. And keeping the eyes closed if you can. We're going to come round to standing. So push yourself round onto all fours. Looking down at the floor, blinking your eyes open to the ground beneath. Curling your toes under. Walk your fingertips towards your knees and push your knees off of the floor. Walk your fingertips a little bit closer. Push into those fingertips and push yourself up so that your feet are flat on the floor, hanging there. Taking your hands onto your hips, take a big bend into the knees and start to roll yourself up. Squeeze the glutes, pull in the core as you do so. Rolling yourself up to standing. The last thing to come up will be your head. Excellent, shaking those arms out. Give a big breath in, breath out. Shake those fingers. Breathing in, breathing out. Last time, big breath in, palms together, taking the palms down to your heart center. Give yourselves a bow and give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys. Hope you enjoyed that.